Big Dave! I see you. Yes.
Go,
Go,
boy!
boy!
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can hear you.
The connection's never been better.
We're good, buddy.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here. Time to get weird. We got Amberly Lago right there. Motivation. She's there.
There she is. What's up, Tamara? And we're gonna get very weird today, Dave. See, it's Saturday. I know a couple things are gonna happen. I'm gonna see your handsome face. I know we're gonna manufacture some magic. I'm gonna provide some valuable spoiling. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I love you so much. How was your week? How you doing?
And I had an amazing week. A lot of people were asking me what this was about. So if people are watching this paradigm shift, I know that.
That's because you're the articulate alligator.
That's what I tell them. Or the spiritual starfish.
Starfish.
Or
Okay, well, we gotta give Amberly a nickname too, maybe after today.
there she is. She got fire going already.
I see her. We're gonna start with 2 minutes, so we're gonna bring her on.
All right.
Are you ready to rock?
I'm ready to roll.
You said something this week that I absolutely loved that really caught my attention. You said there is no pursuit of happiness. Happiness is the pursuit.
Absolutely, man. Too many people, they put their emotions on an outcome and they're never happy. And it's my friend Chris Gardner and Will Smith that did the movie Pursuit of Happiness that fooled everybody. I keep on telling them, switch the title of the movie because you are always happy when you're in pursuit. When you're enjoying the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of your potential, you are happy. You're making more money, helping more people, having more fun. I guarantee it. Too many people shift the paradigm of happiness. There is no more pursuing happiness. Happiness is the pursuit.
I love it. You're an absolute fire, and I couldn't agree more. And that is a phenomenal movie. I know you and I, we always love stuff based on true stories. Another thing that you said this week, Dave, that I absolutely loved is you were talking about how people should and how they actually do handle rejection. This is a big thing because rejection is a part of life. How would you suggest for the audience to handle rejection?
Well, you know what? I'm in a race right now. I'm in a race for lessons. And if you're in a race for lessons, then you go ahead and embrace every single rejection in order to facilitate what we're supposed to learn, but also to maximize two things: finding and attracting, seeking and attracting people with not only open minds like you and Amberly, but also with open hands. People who are giving and receiving. See, when your hands are like this, you give and receive. So we're looking and seeking and attracting people with open minds and open hands.
Yes. Love it! Just when I thought you couldn't get them more fire. What's up, Rachel? Big Dave. Also, you talked about awareness, the third eye. This will be the last one that we'll bring Amberly on. What do you mean by the third eye? I know awareness is huge. Tell us what you mean.
Well, you know what? I actually started looking at this in sports, especially running backs, quarterbacks, and punt returners. As they moved around with 11 players on the other team, 10 other players on their team, it was weird as if they sensed where to move before it happened. How can a quarterback sense someone behind him? There's no way he's hearing footsteps, especially in the professional capacity. It's a third eye, right? We actually are aware via our vibration. See, you can only be aware of that which vibrates equal to or less than you. So those people, like running backs and quarterbacks that have elevated their awareness, actually are aware of more things that our natural senses cannot determine: our eyesight, our nose, our smell, our taste, and our touch. You actually have a sense that actually is more accurate, actually is more powerful, carries a bigger spectrum and a higher frequency, and that is your third eye or your awareness.
Dave, do you know a good surgeon? Because you're going to have to surgically remove the smile from my face. When you go on, let's bring Amberly on. Amberly, you ready for us, girl?
Are you ready for us?
Where is she?
She left. She was disappointed in us.
Never.
Open your mind, open your eyes. Be in a race for lessons. That's what I'm talking about. Good morning, Colleen. We're having a terrific morning. All right, here we go.
That's right, Jennifer. Yes, and carry it. Yeah!
Oh, you got my memo about the hat. Look, Amberly got the memo about wearing a hat. You blew it, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And I don't know, there's a pretty amazing gun show going on over there. People are in the comments saying, I love the eye candy.
I know they're talking about us, Amberly. They're not talking about the handsome guy above me.
I'm definitely talking about Amberly, that's for sure.
For sure.
So excited to connect with you here today.
I'm doing great. You know what? I saw you guys on here and I was like, okay, good thing I wore a hat. And then I've got a chin-up bar on my door over here. I went and did a couple of pull-ups just to get like pumped up for this.
Yeah. Aubrey Marcus used to have a trampoline right next to his desk. And every time before an interview, he'd do like 100 jumps on his trampoline and get all fired up. I love it.
You don't think I just copied my long run and then banged out a set of push-ups to look good for you guys? Of course I did. The introduction she deserves.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, give Amberly an introduction. She needs no introduction. She is an amazing speaker, inspirational person that just changes lives. She's on the same mission that I am, to empower over 1 billion people to be happy, to help people make money, help people have fun in their lives. Most importantly, is she's one of the kindest people I know. I know we don't talk about that a lot in bios, but I will tell you that ever since I met her and watch her videos and see the things that she's doing, one thing resonates with me is she's extremely kind. And I think people really are attracted to her sincere kindness, that she's here to be of service and of value to others.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm telling you guys, I've been watching you and I think when I first reached out to you, Craig, I was like, I love your energy. And of course, David, you know, I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. I'm always checking out your lives and everything you do. So I'm so excited to be here with you.
I have a great feeling that right after this, we're going to work on some other stuff because I want to do some more things with you. But let's dive right in because I want the audience to get familiar with you. And I'm going to jump right in. You ready for me?
Let's do it. Let's have some fun.
Okay. So I was doing some homework, of course, as I am because I'm such a fan. And I saw you talking about how gratitude is alchemy. A lot of people may not be familiar with that word alchemy. What does that concept mean, gratitude is alchemy?
Oh, it changes your life. It changes what you can't do into what you can do. It really gets you focused on the blessings. It's so important in order to be resilient, to really pay attention what you're putting your focus and your energy on. And so when you are in a place of gratitude, and I start my day with gratitude every morning, and this morning y'all were on the top of my gratitude list to get to be here with you. But it really gets you focused on all the blessings and all the things you have in your life instead of focusing on what you don't have. And I think it's important in order to feel good and to do good in the world.
Yeah, and also just something as simple as like I had to go for a long run this morning because I'm training for the Chicago Marathon, but I didn't have to, right? I get to go for a long run, even just something as simple as that. I love that you said that.
Yeah.
And
For sure. And you know, I just got back from Florida. It was my first in-person event since we went into the pandemic. And the gratitude that everyone had there just to be with each other after being so long, kind of being locked down. I mean, in California, we've been pretty locked down. It was so incredible. And I think that everybody's perspectives have been shifted. And I think one of the quickest and easiest things that you can do if you're feeling bad or if you're feeling anxious or you're feeling like, I don't really want to work out, is you can focus on gratitude. Just gratitude that you can, instead of saying, oh, I have to work out. You're like, I get to work out, or I get to travel, because I didn't always think that way, and it changed my life.
Let me add one thing too. You know, I believe in an unwinding routine, and gratitude is part of my unwinding routine. Not only to put my body into a position to recover by having no alcohol, no drugs, no caffeine, no negative energy in my body before I actually get to the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious continuum, which I define as sleep. But so many people think about waking up and being gracious. But I would encourage everyone, even more powerful, is to program your body, mind, and soul to attract and to assess all the downloads that you receive while you're sleeping, to remind yourself before you go to bed what you're so grateful for, so that you get the 6 to 8 hours of natural subconscious and unconscious programming that is the easiest gratitude, and it's the easiest recharge you can get.
Yes, for sure. Sure. You know, every night when I get into bed, I always ask my daughter two things. I always ask her, what was the best thing that happened to you? And what are you most grateful for? And sometimes, you know, I mean, she's a little bit older than your son, David, but it sometimes she answers me something really silly, but at least she's getting in the practice and it's getting her mindset for it, because it really does affect the way we sleep. It affects our subconscious, our dreams. So instead of getting in bed with your phone or you know, looking at your iPad or whatever, I think it's so important to turn your devices off and really get in that place of gratitude and also prayer for me.
Loves that. Dave, you want to fire away with a question for her?
Oh, of course I do. So as I believe life's about lessons, and you know, I'm looking always to do my best to learn lessons, and to find that light, love, and lessons in my life. So for you, as you've been through good and bad times, what's the number one lesson that you would like your children to learn? The one that has changed your life, that you know, as a young person, I know what mine is. What would yours be, talking to your 18-year-old self? What's that one lesson that's changed your life?
I would say that to really be an acceptance for all that you are. For so long, I tried to kind of fit in this mold of, you know, when I was younger, what my parents wanted me to be or what my teachers expected of me. And then as I got older, it was what my husband wanted me to be. And then when I went through, you know, a lot of tragedy, and I found myself just trying to pretend like everything was okay. So on the outside, I was trying to hold it all together and pretend like everything was okay. And on the inside, I was dying because my outsides didn't match my insides. And so I would like to just really, I can't say it strong enough, to just be in acceptance and be your authentic self. We're all here with our unique stories. And when we are just ourselves and embrace that, the good, the bad, the ugly, it's just so much easier. That's where true transformation also, I believe, really starts to happen, when we can stop and kind of pause, take a look at who we are and ask ourselves, who do we want to be? What do we want to do? That's when we can start to make positive actions to make our lives the best that it can be.
This is so you both are an absolute fire today. I love all this. One of the coolest things about your story, Amberly, that really resonates with me, and I know the audience, everybody deals with this to some extent because everybody has a past and some sort of trauma. And a lot of times you talk about what was one of the most liberating things for you was letting go of the shame or the guilt of our story. And a lot of people hold on to this, and as a result, they remain in shackles for so long. I know once I let all that go, I was able to really fly and be my authentic self. How can people let go of the shame and begin to fly?
Well, I think a lot of therapy. I think therapy. I think that writing is very cathartic. That's one of the healing tools that I used. I didn't even realize how healing it was. You know, I always journaled, but when I wrote my book, wow, there were things that I thought that I dealt with in therapy that I was like, wow, I haven't even began to heal from that. And so I think writing is a good tool. I just, like I said, did this mastermind in Florida, and I showed up to speak in shorts. And so many of the women were like, oh my gosh, I am so impressed that you wore shorts with your leg looking like that. Because my leg's all really scarred up. And it took a lot of time and healing for me to accept the way that I look now. But it wasn't just the shame. It was shame from sexual abuse. It was shame from being divorced twice. I'm on my third marriage, third time's a charm. There was a lot of shame. Oh, all right. And then, of course, I had a lot of shame about being a recovering alcoholic. I mean, I started to turn to drinking because I didn't know how to process the shame. And so I would drink to try to help with the pain and to stuff down those feelings of feeling inadequate and broken and all the other feels. And I think that when we can really take a look at where that shame is coming from and share it with someone we trust, and I say share it with someone we trust first, because a lot of people think that means share it on social media, and I'm not saying that. I think you really should share from a scar on social media and not an open wound, because it can be, you know, people are always going to have their opinions, but I think that it's so important not to keep that inside, but really do all you can to process those feelings. And that takes really taking a look at what's causing those shames and know that, you know, our past doesn't define us. They're just circumstances that happened, and we can allow those things to make us bitter or to make us better. And we can, you know, walk with our heads held high no matter what happens, and allow it to make us stronger.
I love it.
Amazing. Hey, big CLS man, I'm going to have to give my last 2 cents and jump. I got a Zoom call. I got to jump on. But what Amberly's saying, as I transcode it, is simply to vote for what you want. You know, so many people spend so much time in their life voting for what other people want, what's missing, what they don't want. And that's where that therapy, like you said, is so healing, to realize I don't have to vote for what other people want, what's missing, or what I don't want. And for me, part of the cure is straight out accountability. 2 simple questions have helped me heal so many things that I even blacked out of, you know, my past, that I for years never even approached in my memory until certain things happened. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. When I was 9, that happened to me. It really happened. And it's just accountability. 2 simple questions for everyone. And I know Amberly and Craig utilize these as: 1, what did I do to attract this to myself? And 2, what am I supposed to learn from it? If you can work through those 2 questions, even things that seem unjust, unfair, there's liability everywhere, blame, shame, and justification. But when you fully and solely take accountability for everything in your life, you will be holy, with an H and a WH, allowing yourself to unify with everybody who has wounds and scars. And all of us share in this same energy and the same enlightenment, this alchemy, as Amberly is so pleasantly and articulated so well. Not as well as the articulate alligator, but we'll call her the alligator junior, so she can give mini
I'll
class
do
like this.
this.
But she has a long way to go until she's as old as this alligator. Remember how long alligators live. So I am the alligator, the tremendous turtle, the energetic enigma, the spiritual starfish. I love Amberly. I love Craig. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to let you continue on. Love you.
Thank you. Love you, Dave.
Amberly, you and I just get warmed up for the audience that's on here, that's so engaged. If you want to see Amberly on the record-breaking CLS Experience podcast, drop a fire emoji in the audience. Amberly, where can the audience find you? Where do you hang out the most? I know they're you.
You know what? I love hanging out on Instagram the most. I am on Facebook. I'm on Twitter barely. I'm on TikTok only because my daughter told me I was too old for that. So I posted a video and it went viral. It got like 600,000 views, and she was like, so yeah, amberlylago.com. But you can find all my links right here on Instagram, and my, you know, downloadable free stuff and fun stuff, and my podcast, True Grit and Grace, that I'm so shamelessly plugging back here. I love your energy. You are so much fun, and I'm so glad that Dave introduced us.
Yeah, me too. I love your energy as well, and like I said, I'm such a fan, so I've been doing some homework and seeing what's going on your end, and we got to get you on the Record Break CLS Experience podcast. I'm not taking no for an answer. We got to do more, and I want my audience to hear your story, because we haven't even really touched upon it here today, and I want the whole world to hear it. Because
thank you.
Resilience and grit. I know you love that word, grit. You always say, let's get gritty, right?
Yes, thank you for doing so much research too. I've been stalking your account too. So yes, thank you. And I would be honored, absolutely honored to be on your show. And again, I'm just grateful to be here with you and your audience this morning. It's a little early here in Los Angeles, so it's a great way to start my day here with you.
I love it. My girls on here, my team, Jessica and Alexandra, they're going to send you an email. We're going to book you to get on the experience. Amberly, leave the audience with one final gem.
I would say that, you know, life is like a balancing act, and I don't even know if we ever quite get balanced. I think it's harmony, and it's about having the grit to push further than where you thought you could go, to just keep moving forward. But it's also so much about the grace that we give ourselves and that we give others, to do it with kindness. So I think that we all have this superpower of resilience.